Hey guys, welcome to Renee All Day. I am here with Hayden Hurst. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you having me.
It's a hell of a name. I feel like having the name Hayden Hurst kind of already like set you up for
I had
success.
to be some sort of pro athlete.
Let alone in two sports.
I'll
At
take it
that.
too. Yeah.
That's insane. We'll get into some of that stuff, but I want to talk some fashion with you first and foremost because you've really you've really brought back the crop top for men. Thank
Absolutely.
you,
Yes.
by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
What went into, figuring out that that was going to be a look that you could pull off? Not an easy look to do, but you do it with grace.
Well, it started off as something pretty innocent. I just sweat a lot by nature.
Okay.
So my jersey and like training camp and stuff gets like soaked. So when I run, it hits my gloves and my gloves get all wet. So rolled it up, but I had to work my ass off in the weight room and get a six pack because I can't be chunky out there.
So listen, that's what I want to talk about because as a woman, it's near impossible to buy a shirt that's not a crop top.
Correct.
I don't know that I love the crop top for me. It's great for you, but I don't want to worry about six-pack abs.
I mean, it just depends on the person.
You got to like sit up straight or like
Yep.
if I know I'm going to be out walking somewhere, I can do it. If I got to sit down, maybe crop top's not the choice.
That's how I like in the stretch line when I'm like hunched over and they're taking pictures. I'm like, let me stand up a little bit so you don't get the
Shoulders
rolls.
back. Okay, so the crop top is prevalent everywhere. You're making it popular for men. What is a fashion look that you hate?
Mm. I'm not a big fan of like the designer stuff that literally just has like name brand
Rotten.
all over
Rotten.
the stuff. I think it just
Yeah.
looks kind of corny and goofy to me.
Yeah, it is
It's not my
cheesy.
taste, but
Where do you stand on the high-waisted pant?
hate it.
You do. I knew it. Guys don't like the high-waisted pants.
It's weird.
Women do because we're like, great, I don't have to worry about anything. But
It just looks like there's wedgies going on and just tough and no.
it provides a long butt cheek,
Right.
which maybe we don't need.
Right. It looks kind of a long butt cheek. It's kind of goofy.
I know. I'm writing it out because I do appreciate I've had a child, so I will take the high-waisted
Yeah.
pant, but I get the perspective of maybe not loving it so much. Okay, so your energy on and off the field is infectious. How do you kind of keep on the up and ups?
That's just who I am. I know it maybe sometimes it seems like it might be, acted or something like that, but I don't know. I just when I get on the football field and I put my helmet on, I just flip a switch. I become a maniac and I try to be that guy that people feed off of and go to for the energy just because I love it. For me, it's like when I strap on the pads and my last name is on the jersey, like I'm going to war.
Yeah.
And, I'll take whoever wants to go with me. That's just my personality.
You ever blow out your voice out there yelling and
Actually,
screaming?
last week I got home and it was a little raspy.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was like, ew, like, what is that
Add a
all
little
about?
lemon in a tea or something.
I know.
Loosen it up. You've spoken a lot about what it means for you to be here in Cincinnati, to be playing for the Bengals, to be here in this city. Talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, for a guy that has been in so many different cities, what is it about Cincinnati that feels so special to you?
Just this organization and how Zach kind of has, from the top down, has it running. The culture is infectious. Just you want to be a part of it. You want to be a part of that locker room. There's great guys around here. Cultures like that they're few and far between in the NFL. It's hard to find something like that. I love it here. I get to be myself. I'm happy. I'm a much happier person than I've been in the past. Hoping I can stick around for a little while because, me and my family love it here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people love you. My family was very excited when I told them when I was interviewing you today. They're like, "Oh, yes, that's our
The
guy."
crazy redhead.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked before about you being a double professional athlete, of course, being drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, playing in the MLB, then making your way back to football, into the NFL. To my civilian ass, I'm like, oh my God, look at this guy go. Like, as a kid, for you to imagine being able to achieve those things, and we'll get into, the downside of what went into that as well. But just as a kid, like imagine you have the opportunity to be an athlete and excel at that level in two different sports. It's crazy.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I mean, I never really focused on much else but sports.
Yeah.
I just said in the back of my mind, I know I'm sure every kid when they're growing up, they're like, oh, I want to be a professional, this. But I just had like this belief in myself because I always knew that I was better. I was going to make it work. Just kind of how my brain's wired. Like if I have my mind set on something, I'm going to make it happen. And I just knew at the time I thought it was going to be baseball,
Yeah.
but life kind of made me pivot a little bit
Yeah.
and ended up being football. But I got blessed with athleticism, and I wanted to make the most of it.
So I was watching on your foundation's website the video that you guys have on there with your family, and you're talking about all the things that you guys went through. I lasered in. I was like, wait, did you only play football in high school for one season?
One season.
What?
Yeah, and
How?
I kind of got convinced to play because when I was in high school, I threw the ball like 96 miles an hour. So everyone was like, "You're going to pitch in the big leagues. Don't get hurt playing football." So I was like, "Okay, well, I won't play football then."
Yeah.
And I think it was my junior year. My head baseball coach was like the quarterback coach for our high school team, and he was like, "We're thin at receiver. We need a lot of help. He goes, just come out and see if you like it." And I was like, "Okay, I can do that." And I played 1 year high school football, and I mean, I got offers from like Tennessee, Florida State, Miami.
Damn.
And stupid me, I'm like, I'm going to go play baseball. I have these like head coaches talking to me. Didn't play my senior year, and then ended up coming full circle and walked on to South
Wild.
Carolina.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
What an insane journey. Okay, so now to get into, I know you've been very vocal about this stuff, and I applaud you for being so vocal as a man, as an athlete, to be able to let people know the things that you've been through. But yeah, just kind of walk me through some of that stuff of, finding out, baseball's not going to be the move, and all the things that went into that. I mean, the physical aspects of things that were going down to that, to how that, really affected you mentally as you were making the pivot to figure out what life was even going to hold for you.
Yeah, like I said, when I was in high school, I mean, I alternated, it was baseball, football. Then I started specializing in baseball. I got drafted by the Pirates, and I mean, baseball was always really easy. I just picked the ball up and threw it past guys, knew I was better. When I was down in Bradenton with the minor league team. My first season was good. Then I came back for like fall instructional league, and I don't know, I just started overthinking. It was weird. I ended up getting what's called the yips.
Yeah.
Where like I couldn't even like feel the ball in my hand. I was erratic with my control, kind of like.
You got like numbness in your hands?
Yep. Yeah. I had like panic attacks on the mound, just wanted to get away. It was awful. And then didn't really know how to deal with it because I was, immature, 19-year-old, and then off the field just spiraled out of control, because I was embarrassed. I mean, I was my family's golden ticket in my mind, and
right.
I had baseball kind of ripped away from me. So, I unfortunately reached for the bottle, pills, whatever I could get my hands on, and kind of put myself in a downward spiral. But, in 2015, I was mature enough to make the decision that I needed to kind of make a change in what I was doing. Walked away from baseball, walked on at South Carolina, and unfortunately that stuff follows you. And one night decided, tried to cut my wrists and went through all that and tried to take my own life. And it was really, I mean, obviously I would never wish that upon my worst enemy, but it was kind of the best thing that ever happened to me, because when I woke up in the hospital, I was handcuffed to a gurney, without a shirt on, covered in my own blood. And I just kind of like sat there. I was by myself. And I was like, you're not going to be here much longer if you keep down this path, bud. Like, you need to make a complete 180 on what you're doing. So for me, I kind of made that promise to myself, in that room. I was like, we're not going to do this again.
Yeah.
And I really just poured myself into football, just became a maniac. I worked out like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
There's even some of my buddies at the time, they're like, man, we thought you were, a kiss ass just going in there. But for me, it was just a mental release.
Yeah.
So again, kind of the best and the worst thing that ever happened to me.
What was that build back like for you, to go from being on that hospital gurney to like your mental state, your physical state, to being like, I got to snap out of this and physically get myself back mentally? Like, what were some of those steps that you had to take to get to feeling good?
It was really hard because, not many people go through that path in life that I unfortunately had to go through. So you really have to almost reinvent yourself and fall in love with yourself again. So I think it was hard because I felt, like it was me against the world. I felt like I was by myself, even though even my family was there. But unless you go through something like that or have a family member that goes through it, it's hard to really wrap your brain around taking your own life, or someone fathoming taking their own life. So in my mind, it was really me against the world. And I just got to kind of reinvent who Hayden Hurst was. I got to fall in love with myself and really understand who I was as a person. So it sucked, but it was kind of beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy how things like that happen. You hit that rock bottom, and it's like, how do you get back to where you are? And like, thank God to be, offered that other chance at life to come out and do it. And I mean, look at you go. Like,
crazy.
What an inspiration to so many people. What's your advice to somebody that might be going through something like that?
For one, never make permanent decisions on temporary feelings.
I love that.
My sister told me that, when I was going through it. That's one thing that kind of resonates with me, and I try to tell people. And the other thing is just take it a day at a time. That's what I do today,
Mm-hmm.
and in my life, my day-to-day life. I try not to look too far forward or too far back. I'm really just trying to live hour to hour. I'm trying to be the best man, the best boyfriend, the best brother, son, that I can be in that hour, and then, figure it out from there.
Are there other protocols that you think should maybe be in place to help athletes on the mental side of things? Do you think that we're doing enough to really give athletes the resources that they need?
I think in the last few years, it's definitely the tides have turned a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got in the league, probably 5 years ago, it was more of a taboo topic. People didn't like to talk about it, but the more people that come out and start talking about it, share their stories, the more people that relate to it. When I get out there and I, give a speech or like tell my story, the coolest thing is when people come up to me and they're like, my sister went through this, my mom struggles with this, my dad's an alcoholic, because like I can relate to all that. I've had all that stuff in my family. I've seen it firsthand. So that's cooler than anybody coming up to me and telling me how good I did for their fantasy football team.
Yeah. Well, hey man, congratulations to you. And again, I mean, I think just for you to be able to use your platform and use time to speak about that stuff. I know it's never easy to talk about that stuff and keep rehashing that stuff, but I know that it does obviously help so many people that could be going through a similar thing. Which led to you creating your foundation.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about your foundation.
Yeah, we started it when I got drafted by the Ravens in 2018. It's me, my mom, my dad, and my sister helps a little bit too. She's a vet in Atlanta, so she's got her own stuff. But she'll help wherever she can. But it's really my mom. She's the rock star. She takes
Your mom looks like she runs a tight ship.
Yes, she does. She's very, very type A. She's on top of all of her details, and she makes sure that the rest of us are too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told them, I want you guys to retire. We're going to start a foundation. It's going to focus on, mental health and adolescent suicide prevention.
Yeah.
And, whatever city that I've been in or played in, Columbia, I did some stuff in Atlanta, did a lot of stuff in Baltimore, and then Jacksonville, our hometown. We try to just do like little events to raise money wherever we can.
Yeah.
Just because I know if you can tool kids at their young age, because unfortunately things happen in life. It happens to everybody. We all go through traumas and stuff happens.
Yeah.
So if you can better tool kids to deal with it down the road, that's kind of the age target we're going after right now.
If Hayden Hurst today were talking to Hayden Hurst, many years ago, what would you say?
Take a step back and appreciate it. Man, I was a different person when I was younger. So
yeah, we all were, right?
It's crazy.
We're all different people. I mean, when you think of like a year ago to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we all grow and mature and our resources change and life changes.
Yeah.
It's like just trying to adapt with it all.
Absolutely. I would just take it a day at a time, be the best person you can be. Your choices have consequences. I mean, like I said, I was 10, 11 years ago, the Hayden Hurst that was compared to the Hayden Hurst that is, it's just, I'm very proud of myself for where I've gotten.
I think we all are.
Yep.
Hats off to you. Okay. On the other side of things, what are you into like off the field? What's next for you outside of football?
That is a topic that I've been discussing with many people this year.
Okay.
Just trying to figure it out because with all of the responsibilities that come, Monday through Saturday, obviously on Sunday as well with football, it's hard to focus on other stuff. The grueling, demands of football throughout the week are tough. So it's hard for me because I'm so present in what I'm doing to really be like, I want to do this when I retire. So I'm big on my family. I'm big on, my personal time. And I'm not sure, maybe some sort of coaching, just because I do kind of get joy from helping people. That is like my thing, I guess. And obviously football has done wonderful things. So it'd be cool to stay around the game a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't know.
Time will tell.
Yes.
But you got plenty of time. So
yes, absolutely.
Or we can all just calm down. We'll get there when we get there. Well, listen, Hayden, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. And again, thanks for being so vocal about mental health stuff.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. This has been Renee All Day with Hayden Hurst, y'all.